Welcome to Conversations with Sakeina. Today we are going to do a walkthrough of the DruidCraft Tarot. This deck came out in 2005, so it is an older deck, but it is a very good deck. After I take you through the book and the cards, I will be asking Sakeina, after shuffling very, very well, to give her take on this deck. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so DruidCraft Tarot, it says, use the magic of Wicca and Druidry to guide your life. This is done by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gomm and illustrated by Will Worthington. And it has some pretty magical cards in here. Some of the Major Arcana cards are named differently. I will do my best not to slaughter what they're called, but we will see. So the back of the box says, let the DruidCraft path show you the way. At a time when we seek a closer connection with the natural world, this beautiful deck invites us to celebrate the earth and the rhythm of her seasons, combining the two great streams of Western pagan tradition, Wicca and Druidry. Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gomm, together with artist Will Worthington, have created a tarot of extraordinary depth and relevance that can help guide and illuminate your life. The DruidCraft Tarot's powerful images have emerged from a vast store of teachings and storytelling rooted in our ancient past. Use them as gateways to your inner spiritual world and deepen your knowledge of yourself and of the earth. Let the natural wisdom of DruidCraft bring you insight and inspiration for the life issues that you face today. And this in the US was $24.95 and $36.95 in Canada. And again, this is a deck from 2005, so I'm not sure if it's still in print or not. I managed to get a used copy on eBay. So if you see a little bit of bowing and use from this box, it's because it is a used deck. All right. So we have a very good book here. In fact, it's a very in-depth book. I have not been through the book completely as yet. So it talks about court cards here, pip cards, the inner mysteries is what they're calling the Major Arcanas, how to use the cards. We have 6 spreads and then sample readings. They're giving further reading resources, the creators of the DruidCraft Tarot, information about them, and acknowledgments. And there is also an introduction. They're calling the court cards and the pips the outer mysteries. So in the introduction, it covers a lot of information. The origins of the tarot, a tarot for Wicca and Druidry, the meeting of Wicca and Druidry in DruidCraft, the Western magical tradition and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, sources of inspiration, the life of Merlin and the tales of the bards, the story of Ceridwen and Taliesin, sorry about the names, the alchemical wedding, the great rite, the cycle of the seasons and the mystery of time. Now this is a very interesting illustration, the meeting of the inner and outer worlds. And I have not read this part, so I cannot tell you what this is about, other than winter solstice, Imbolc, spring equinox, Beltane, summer solstice, Lugnasad, autumn equinox, and Samhain. And then we have a key down here for certain things. Then we go into the outer mysteries, the minor arcana. Again, we have a good amount of information about the outer mysteries. So then it goes into the court cards, talks about the 16 personality types of the tarot, character types and ways of interacting with the world, finding the court card that represents you, how to interpret the court cards, the 4 elements, applying the 3 keys of interpretation. And then in this book, it's a little bit different. They do the princesses, or the pages in this case, and they'll do Prince of Wands, Prince of Cups, Princess of Swords, Princess of Pentacles. And then they move on to the Prince or the Knight, and they do the same thing. So it's Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles. And on these, they're giving a little bit of information about the Princess of Wands or the Page of Wands. They give some keywords over here on the left. They give the meaning, and they give the reverse meaning. Later on, I will grab a card just at random after I've shown you the cards, and we will see how the book reads. So the first section is all about the court cards, and then we go into the pips. We have information about the pips, and then it goes into aces, and they do the same thing. So we have Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. So everything is at your fingertips in order, rather than having to find a specific suit and find the ace of that suit. You have all the aces, 2s, up to 10s all together, just as you did the court cards. And each one has a little bit of information about it. So the 3s, there's a page worth of information specifically about 3s, and then it goes into the individual cards. So then when we move on to the inner mysteries or the major arcana, we have the quest for the Grail and the process of individuation, the Fool's Journey, talk about that, 3 degrees in Druidry and Wicca, the Fool's Story, mandalas and meditation, the purpose of the spiritual quest, and then it goes into the cards themselves. So we have information about the Fool, the keywords, and then we have the significance of the Fool. And that goes into quite a bit. And then the meaning and the reverse meaning. So the Major Arcana cards give a good amount of information for each one. And then towards the back, get through all the inner mysteries. It says how to use the cards, a rite of blessing and dedication, blessing and dedication ceremony, which is quite long, using the cards for divination, the purpose of the reading, choosing the spread, the moment you cut or pick the cards, interpreting the spread, reversed cards, does the tarot predict the future? Question. And then it goes into the spreads. So again, we have the Awen spread, the lunar spread, that's the lunar spread, the pentagram spread, which is right here, the hexagram spread, which is right here, the spirits of the circle spread, right here, the chalice and wand spread, which looks like that, and it gives different the chalice of the self and the influences upon it, cards 1 through 6, and then the wand, cards 7 through 10. And then they're doing sample readings of like the hexagon spread, which is nice actually, and the spirits of the circle spread. Giving sample reading of that. And then, as I said, there's further resources in the back. So this is a bulky book, a little bit larger than what I'm accustomed to showing you. So it was a little awkward in the screen, but very much worth the time for reading, for more basically learning. We never stop learning, do we? Okay, so the box was a cardboard box, and as you can see, it has done some bowing. I don't know if originally there was a box that these cards were also in, but as you see, there's looseness here. That could also be because I trimmed the edges off of mine, the borders. I had never done it before. It kind of went so-so, but I did this quite a while back. Anyway, I've trimmed the borders off. I preferred not to have borders other than, you know, where the wording is down to the bottom. So I'm going to take you through these cards one by one as always. Then I will choose a card at random, read from the book, and then we will ask Sakeina what her take on these cards is. Anything that does not focus, you might see a little bit of chopping in the video as I get rid of what you don't need to see, which is my attempt to focus. Okay, so we start with the Fool. The Magician. The High Priestess. The Lady, which would be the Empress. The Lord, the Emperor, the High Priest, or the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, I love this card. The clouds to me actually look like they could be moving if you look at the card behind the light. Kind of an optical illusion. The Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged Man. And yes, there is a bit of nudity in these cards. Death. The Ferilt. Don't know if I've pronounced that even close to what it is. This is the Temperance card. Cernunos. Not sure if I've pronounced that properly either. Normally be the Devil card. Grab it. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Rebirth or Judgment. The World. Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. Three of Wands. Four of Wands. Five of Wands. And this one's interesting because Five of Wands to me is fun wrestling type conflict. It isn't anything that is serious. It is almost as though practice for battle to me. And even the rooster or chicken, whatever, is not at all worried about the activity that's going on here. They can read that energy, that it's not a serious combat. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, Princess of Wands, or Page of Wands, Prince of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups, Princess of Cups, or Page of Cups, Prince of Cups, or Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, again in this one where the moon is, it's almost like moving holographic sky. King of Cups, if you hear some odd noises, as always, my Chihuahua is doing some snoring from the other room. He snores loudest when I am recording. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords. Princess of Swords, or Page of Swords. Prince of Swords, or Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. King of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles, or Page of Pentacles, Prince of Pentacles, or Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, okay, so there you have it with all of the cards. And I'm sure that these cards probably shuffled a bit differently with the borders. The card stock is not too bad. I mean, it bounces back. Might be a little bit thin, maybe. Hard to tell. I know I have thicker cards than this, but I don't find this a disturbing thickness. And if we're to try to shuffle, like riffle shuffle, because the borders are removed, I can get my fingers around them, whereas with the borders there was no way I could do a riffle shuffle. Not that I riffle shuffle most of the time anyway, but as you can see, I'm having a hard time getting my index finger back on the cards to be able to do this. Normally I would shuffle this way on a side, and they're a little stiff for that. They don't really bend upward. Like, they're very, very stiff this way. So there's not a lot of bend. With Sakeina, I shuffle this way anyway. And I know that there are those who shuffle, well, I still am not good at this. But it would be something along this line. So that's possible too. The cards themselves have some shine, as you can see. If we flip it over, it also has shine, but it's not as bad as some that I have come across for glare on camera. Okay, so I'm going to choose a card at random here and read out of the book for you. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So, as I said, the court cards were in the front and all the queens are together. The Queen of Pentacles is at one with the spirit of the land and with being fully embodied in the world. She represents the magic of home and hearth, trusting her instincts and life itself, and is practical and generous. Often a warm host and excellent cook, she enjoys every aspect of homemaking and loves having children and animals around her. A Queen of Pentacles will usually be pragmatic and well organized, handling finances successfully. A loyal and sensual lover, they will be a good friend too, always offering a sympathetic ear, common sense, advice, and practical help. And over here, we have the keywords generous, patient, pragmatic. Then it says the meaning, the upright meaning. If not referring to a person, it may indicate the need to care for your body, your finances, or possessions, or land or property. Drawing this card in a reading may point to your relationship with the land and the earth, and surrounding cards may suggest how to develop this. Alternatively, it may suggest you need to treat yourself to some sensual pleasures. Reverse meaning, for whatever reason, you may be finding it hard to trust in yourself and in life. You may have lost the ability to flow with the natural rhythm of the earth and her seasons, and you might find it helpful to focus on celebrating the 8 seasonal festivals and on spending more time out of doors, opening yourself to the energies of the time of the year, the weather, the phases of the moon, and the energy of the sun. This card can also indicate an obsessive materialism in which housekeeping is fanatical and ultimately life-denying, or quite the opposite, in which finances, health, and housework are neglected. Either way, some adjustments need to be made. The key lies in developing greater trust in your own self and a greater attunement to the rhythms of nature and her seasons. So it seems that they do put quite a bit into each card. They don't really talk about, I guess, the symbolism of what they used in the card, at least not in the courts, maybe not in the minors. I don't know. Anyway, so there is how the book reads. Now I'm going to go off camera for a few minutes and get these shuffled up really well and come back and share with you what Sakeina's take on this deck is. Be right back. Okay, we're back. I've done a good number of riffle shuffles with a little difficulty with my index fingers getting over top of the cards to be able to do the riffle shuffle. So now we're going to shuffle a little bit more, side shuffle like this, as I do with Sakeina, and we're going to ask her what her impression or her take or her opinion is on this deck. So Sakeina, if you can shoot out 1 or 2 cards for us and let us know what your take is on the DruidCraft Tarot deck. Okay, there's one. We will keep going just in case she wants to shoot out another. And if a bunch happen to come, we'll just pull the top one. Okay, so we have the Princess of Pentacles or Page of Pentacles and the Wheel. So I think what Sakeina is saying with this one is that this is a very down-to-earth deck and will take a good amount of contemplation, a good bit of learning, and that it's probably okay for beginners, people who are not accustomed to reading tarot cards, but they could learn a good deal from the book, and they can learn maybe a bit slowly, but still learn a lot from this deck. And with the Wheel, I believe she's saying that you can draw your own conclusions to your readings. And that's pretty much with any deck, that is true. But in this case, this is not necessarily fated. You will probably learn in cycles. And it'll change pretty much on a regular basis, depending what your spread is, depending on how you're using the cards. There's going to be change. And you'll learn starting at the initiate stage and move yourself higher and higher the more that you use the cards. But Sakeina says this is a very down-to-earth deck and will definitely put you through your paces, so to speak. So there you have it. That is Sakeina's take on this deck. I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough. And until next time, take care.